Welcome to day 21 of our North Island road trip. It's about adventure and adventures out there, and we're on one big adventure here, currently in New Zealand. I'm Sam.
What a base.
And this is Christine. And we're nearing the end of our journey through the North Island. Before we bid farewell and hop on the ferry to the South Island with our faithful companion Kevin, the girl, we've still got a couple of exciting adventures in store.
And so it begins.
After an epic 7-hour trek through the breathtaking landscapes of the Tongariro Alpine Crossing, where we conquered Mordor and avoided Gollum, also marvelling at monstrous mountain peaks in the distance, we were inspired for our next adventure. As soon as we walked towards Mount Doom, in our backdrop, there was a very single pointed peak with also an ice cap on top, which looked like an illustration out of The Hobbit, so we need to Google what it looks like, and then we need to go there, possibly tomorrow, before we leave this area, because we hate to miss that. So yeah. Following a well-deserved day of relaxation and rest by the tranquil shores of Lake Taupo, we set off on a 4-hour journey along the scenic and mysterious Forgotten World Highway. Good.
Yeah. Hello everybody. We are now on our way to Mt
Taranaki.
Taranaki, or at least the drive to get to Taranaki. We will not be climbing Taranaki because Sam saw that it takes about
10 hours.
10 hours in total.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're on the Forgotten Highway right now, which is quite cool. I think I read that it's New Zealand's only unsealed highway road.
Don't know what that means, but
yeah.
It sounds dangerous.
Yeah, so it sounds a bit scary, but yeah, we're going to enjoy the drive, taking some pictures on our big camera.
Mount Taranaki actually looks more like the Lonely Mountain from the films, and also an old illustrated Hobbit book that I used to get read at bedtime. But it's actually not the Lonely Mountain, but it's very picturesque, it's very beautiful, and we're hoping we're going to walk a little bit of the track to get to a like a lake in front of the mountain to get some nice cool shots. So we'll hopefully try to show you that. And if we can't see it today because of whatever reason, light, clouds, mist, we'll try again tomorrow morning before we head down to Wellington, where we're going to spend 2 days ticking off some bucket list items of where they filmed Lord of the Rings. So Rivendell's filmed near there, the Gardens of Isengard, and some other places as well. You'll see, hopefully. So yeah, that's our plan for the next sort of 3-4 days before we head to the South Island on Sunday, where we have just over 4 weeks in the South Island before we finish in Christchurch. So yeah, so far nearly getting to the halfway point now, and so far it's epic. We're looking forward to South Island, but North Island has definitely been it's been good and better than I expected. Most people say South Island is better than North Island. That might be the case. Yeah, we've only got the North Island to judge it on, but I'm happy with the North Island and what it's looked like, because there's nothing like what we've got at home and nothing like we've seen before. Great
time, and our trusty steed Kevin is holding up quite well, considering the roads. The roads are like quite bumpy.
I did not see that. She's doing well. No flat tires. No dents, nothing, so yeah, touch wood. Good. So, yeah,
see you on the road.
We'll see you at Mt Taranaki. As we ventured further into the remote wilderness of New Zealand's oldest heritage trail, we did start to wonder if Kevin was up to the challenge of navigating this rugged terrain. Better not be like this. quite possibly one of the most obscure and weird drives we have ever encountered during our time in New Zealand, as we tried our luck in search of the most picturesque mountain peak that Middle Earth has to offer. But as you know, not all adventures end in success and victory.
Now unfortunately it is very, very cloudy, so we can't see the mountain. We can only see like the base of the mountain because cloud is literally covering half of it. So we're hoping at some point that it clears up so we can actually see it.
This highway, however, had it all. From forgotten towns lost in time, some rather dodgy and scary looking hobbit holes carved through what we thought was mountain faces,
Oh shit.
and your good old fashioned typical New Zealand traffic jams.
Oh my god, there's so many of them.
We had ourselves an unexpected journey and an adventure all the same.
It's so amazing watching you guys work.
Oh wow, they're just all in the road.
They get in and out whenever they want. Look, oh my god, they're so well trained. There's so many of them.
It's amazing.
So many sheep, so many dogs.
The dogs aren't even like bothering the sheep really.
Oh wow, look at dogs go.
Come on doggies. Sort this out, doggos.
They're so well trained.
Wow. That was sheepy. Awesome. I've never seen anything like that before. That's happened on the Isle of Man though, but like I've never lucky enough to actually be part of where they're moving cattle, moving sheep, but that was ridiculous. There was like 15 dogs, or maybe less than that, maybe 10 dogs. They're so well trained. She was like giving little whistle commands and they were going around and herding them around. It was just brilliant to watch. That's definitely one of the highlights, weirdly. Cool, eh? Very cool.
Very cool.
And the farmer thanked us because we drove extra careful and extra slow. And we did it on purpose, just like, no, we want to watch you.
About an hour. It's very, very beautiful. It's very windy. It actually reminds us of the Mae Hong Song in Thailand, but obviously we're doing it in a bigger vehicle rather than zooming around corners on a scooter. So yeah, very beautiful. Just be quiet. Lunch because we are both absolutely starving, and we found a good place actually just on some kind of river, so, and there's a toilet here as well, which is handy, and it's just started raining, so yeah, we'll have some lunch and then hopefully the rain doesn't affect us too much on the drive. After driving for 2 hours along the Forgotten World Highway, it finally was clear to us why it had its name. The landscape showed a struggle between man and nature, with plenty of fascinating stops along the way. While some may prefer a slow-paced journey over a few days, our spontaneous decision and limited time meant we embarked on this adventure without knowing what awaited us at every turn. Each bend in the road brought a fresh surprise, turning the trip into a truly unexpected journey. And there were even moments where the atmosphere turned eerily spooky, adding an extra layer of excitement to the drive as we slowly made our way to Mt Taranaki.
Oh my god.
What the hell? Hobbit's Hole? Oh shit.
Well, it began as you might expect. In a hole in the ground, there lived a hobbit.
So we've just arrived in Stratford and we just stopped at a petrol station to get something to eat for dinner, and we are now on our way to Egmont National Park where Mt Taranaki sits. Now unfortunately it is very, very cloudy, so we can't see the mountain. We can only see like the base of the mountain because cloud is literally covering half of it. So we're hoping at some point that it clears up so we can actually see it. But we're heading for a free car park now in Egmont National Park, and we're hoping we somehow drive underneath the cloud and then she exposes herself on the other side. So keep your fingers crossed for us, we'll keep our fingers crossed, and just hopefully we see the mountain, because we've driven for 4 hours along an incredibly windy road on the Forgotten World Highway, which was beautiful. But yeah, we've come a long way now and we just want to see this mountain, which we saw from the Tongariro Alpine crossing. So we just hope we get to see this mountain because it looked absolutely incredible in the backdrop. So fingers crossed. We're here obviously tomorrow morning as well, so either today or tomorrow we'd be happy with that. But we're currently traveling on an incredible road where everyone gets this epic shot of this mountain, and obviously we can't see it, so good job.
Oh, the peak's one out.
You can just about see the peak if you look very close.
Oh, we just need that to be like an unblocked view now, so clouds please do one. It looks as though the clouds are actually quite close and tucked into the mountains, so it's a bit unfortunate, but I was hoping we'd drive under it. The good thing about where we're headed is actually there's campsites inside the national park and they're all free. So at some point in the next 6 hours before we go to bed, and tomorrow morning before we leave to Wellington, I'm positive that at some stage we will see the full mountain without any clouds covering the peak of it. We just have to be patient, but yeah, fingers crossed. I'd like to get out there tonight just before sunset, see if we get some cool shots with the reflection of the water. It's quite calm, there's no wind, it's just the clouds unfortunately, so fingers crossed it clears up, but either way it's sick. Wind just on our own as well. Well, there's a couple of people taking photographs, but it looks like we're going to be on our own here tonight in this car park, which is classed as a campsite, but just need the clouds to bugger off. Fingers crossed tomorrow morning we'll wake up and it's just literally like a mountain, and then yeah, tick. But it's frustrating because we've driven a long way, and the view we've got right now is green hills, which we've seen in abundance in New Zealand. Come on. Morning all. So yesterday was pretty cool. We drove through a very cool town, or a republic actually, called the Republic of, hopefully we can put something on the screen for you, and it has its own presidents, and before the current one, which is a woman I believe, the last 2 presidents before that were 2 goats. And it's even a cool place for backpackers where you can actually stop at a pub and get your passport stamped. Sadly we didn't know this until after we drove through it, and we drove through a hobble hole, which was like a tunnel, like a mine shaft underneath the mountain. But that was pretty cool, and we got here roughly about 5 o'clock. Sadly the mist was covering the majority of the mountain, so we only saw the base of the mountain, and we hoped that if we stayed put for as long as possible before the light gave out, we'd maybe see it. Sadly that wasn't the case, and the fog got worse, so we actually didn't see it. Yeah, it was a bit too dark and a bit too foggy. We couldn't see anything outside the van, so we drove down a little bit further to this car park, which is right outside a lodge here, so a bit more light. Hoping that we wake up today and see the mountain, but sadly it is the same as last night. It's just fog, mist and clouds and rain, so it's meant to be forecast this sort of weather for the next 5 days, and we haven't got time to sort of wait around. We've got to be in Wellington for Sunday for the boat to the South Islands, and we've got a lot of things to do in Wellington, such as Rivendell, the Gardens of Isengard, just loads of Lord of the Rings things. So yeah, sadly we didn't get to see the mountain, but yeah, some things aren't going to go your way. You can't do anything about the weather, but yeah, remaining positive, and like I said, nothing can't be solved with a positive attitude.
and more money.
So very unfortunately, this is our view this morning, and the mountain is straight ahead. So we can literally see absolutely nothing, even worse than yesterday.
On a more positive note, last night at the top car park before we moved, we did see a hare. We like seeing animals, so we saw a hare, and then we got to this car park and we heard kiwis. Now, I'm sure kiwis have actually heard kiwis, but not actually seen them. We haven't actually seen them yet as well, because they're quite rare. There's only 70,000 in the wild, and there's 5 different species of kiwis in New Zealand. So I don't know which one we heard, but we heard the mating call, because the night before I watched a video on kiwis in the hope that I would actually try and help ourselves find and locate them. But yeah, we heard them, so that was cool.
Okay, so we tried one last time. This is the view of the mountain. So yesterday we could see the base, but it is completely covered, so it is what it is, and we move on.
I didn't think it would end this way.
End? No, the journey doesn't end here.
Well, that's it for this video. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for sticking around. We warned you that not all adventures end in success and victory. However, we have unfinished business here, which means we will be back for sure to see this invisible mountain. Big thanks for watching, and stay tuned for our next video, where we'll be diving into as many Lord of the Rings filming locations as we possibly can during our final days on North Island. Until next time, see you soon, peace.